Week 3, Schmuck Sports NFL Pick'em League with Fernando and Jeremy. What up, Jeremy?
What's up? How you doing?
Doing good? Or doing well? Let me speak,
Okay.
correctly. Doing well. I had a pretty good week. I only got 2 wrong last week. Do you remember what you got?
I probably had like 3, maybe 4.
3 or
I
4?
wasn't all the way on last week.
It happens. I know
But the Cowboys did win, so
barely.
yeah.
Barely. That was an interesting onside kick. Is that the new way that people are going to try to do that? Because you can't get the running start, so they kind of do the weird squib thing, and you were taught, or maybe they're going to teach the defenders to teach differently. Don't touch the ball until it goes 10 yards, and by that point, you can almost box everybody out, and then when it gets 10 yards, the defense or the kicking team can fall on it.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting play. Like it makes sense. I mean it's not going to be very high collision. It's more strategic. I like it. I just didn't expect it to happen, but
I wonder if they can change the kickoff rule where if the ball travels more than 10 yards, you can't get the running start. But if the ball travels less than 10 yards, it'll allow the running start. Because the onside kick was already almost impossible to do. Now it's even more impossible. So I don't know. I think that's just my thought about it. I wish the onside kick was just a little more easier to make the games a little more exciting. I mean, that made your game exciting. Your boys came out with the win in the long run.
man, yeah, barely. They got off really slow, but Dak, did his job and rallied them back to victory. Their tight end Jarwin was out, and the backup he had a big game, 100 yards, a touchdown, and I forget his name. I don't know if it's really
something
Yeah.
Smith. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just said the most
Johnson,
generic name I
Smith,
could think of.
one of those names.
And there was no offensive pass interference.
Yeah,
You had
Yeah,
that going
see?
for you too.
yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like the headlines for week 2, definitely the injuries. Injuries piling up. I mean, fantasy-wise, like the first 2 picks in pretty much everyone's draft, more than likely, unless you play with a bunch of rookies who don't know what the hell they're doing, McCaffrey out, I believe, 4 to 6 weeks,
Yep.
and Saquon Barkley out for the year. And then the 49ers had like a half a dozen to 8 injuries in that game. So just everybody, injuries piling up. I mean, we could look through just looking through the teams. Vikings lost Anthony Barr for the season. 49ers lost their 2 defensive ends for the season. Garoppolo probably won't play in the next game.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to play this week for sure.
And it was just, injury. Mostert for, again, another 49er.
Tevin Coleman's, so they're on their RB3.
Yeah.
He's starting. They're already down Debo Samuel. I think they signed Sanu last week, but I don't know if he got any
They did.
looks.
I don't think he suited up. Or if he did, I didn't see him out on the field. Sanu and what was the other? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Devontae Freeman going to the filling in for the injured Saquon Barkley. We'll see how that works out. I can see. I don't know. Like these guys, like a lot of these injuries, like we think, like 4 weeks of preseason, those injuries kind of come into play, and then especially for fantasy players, and you decide to pick your team. Like now, these guys are getting injured at this point. OTA. I think this has a lot to do with the lack of OTAs and a preseason.
Yeah, definitely. Not getting those reps is it's important. They have to get their work in, and just the contact. The physical contact. Going full speed with basically no camp or no preseason. It's definitely gonna take its toll.
It sucks, but nevertheless, we're still gonna have picks, no matter who's playing out there.
We're
Picks
picking
are
'em.
up. First up, I'm kind of, at first at the beginning of the year, I don't know about this game. Now I'm a little excited. Thursday night we have, it's the beard versus the mustache.
Oh yeah.
Give me a second here.
Look at
Mustache. Dolphins traveling Jacksonville. Jacksonville barely 1-1. Could have easily been 2-0. Gostkowski. I remember watching that game with a friend. We bet a whole $1 that Gostkowski would make that kick. I came out on the victor of that $1. So Jacksonville, and again, both underdogs, both those games. First time this year, they are the favorite, 3-point favorites for Jacksonville over the Dolphins. This one, I don't know. Maybe I'm not fully sold on Jacksonville yet, but this will be a close game. I could see the Dolphins winning it, but I'm gonna stick. I'll go with, for the first time this year, I am picking the Jaguars to win.
Yeah, I've been riding the Jaguars from week one. Like, I was high on them both weeks. I mean, last week, yeah, they put up a good fight. They lost by 3. I mean, with what they have, on defense, you expect they're gonna get,
basically,
yeah, they're gonna have to score a lot of points to stay in the game. But
and Minshew's showing up for it.
yeah, he's definitely stepping up to the plate and connecting with all of his receivers. And it was Robinson,
the running back.
yeah,
right?
Robinson.
Something Robinson. Number 30. I know he's
yeah,
number
James
30.
Robinson. Like, he's stepping up big. I think he had over 100 and a touch.
Yeah, the Shark. I just want to say Shart.
DJ Sharts.
Shark always, like, he's showing up. They even had a former
Keelan Cole.
Washington Washington Football Club. Excuse me. Washington Football Club former running back caught a touchdown pass.
Oh, Thompson,
yeah. He was always known for his hands out of the backfield, and like Minshew, he looks great. I mean, what can you say about the fifth rounder? I think fifth or sixth, late rounder. No one expected much out of him, and he's he's looking good.
He has a really good understanding for the game, a good feel. Like, he the thing is that he's confident and he's comfortable back there.
Yeah, nothing seems to rattle him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like the opposite of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that's huge. And this week I think, well, both teams have they've gone up against some pretty high, pretty good opponents
teams.
And put up some numbers.
Who the Dolphins lost to week 1. Oh,
the Patriots. Yeah,
and they kept it closer than you'd think in Foxborough. And then same with Buffalo. I mean, they got back in that game. They had the ball down by only 3, and of course they screwed it up. But and then I believe Josh Allen hits John Brown on a deep pass for a touchdown that kind of put the game away. But they're scrappy. They're fighters. I mean, I got a little trash talking quote I want to share. Fitzpatrick, the beard, versus Minshew, the mustache. So Fitzpatrick says, the mustaches versus the beard. I think the beard is cooler. Guys that grow mustaches have pretty patchy sides. And you know what? I will say, as far as me, that is correct. I can't grow a beard worth shit.
Yeah, I mean.
So the mustache comes in for me, so it's like, I'm going to try a mustache. But, but then Minshew, I've seen the guy, the guy can grow a beard. So he rebuttals with, I'll let mine speak for itself. But I'm going to have respect for my elders, especially when they're much, much elder. So I like the little trash talk with, two teams most people don't give two shits about. But they're looking, I think it'll be an entertaining game.
Yeah, as many points as they've had to put up, they've had to be, they're in some dogfights the first couple weeks. Being on a short week, I think this week could be, you're going to see more of a defensive game. It won't be, the total I think is 44. I'm looking for for it to go under. But who do you like?
I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I think it will come down to that field goal. It'll be close. I like over that. I don't know. I can see, because both defenses are a little shady. I can see like a 27-24 kind of game, or 31-28. I think it'll be better than people think. I think it'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I was leaning more. I'm definitely going with Jacksonville to cover the spread, and the end score would be 24-17. That's what I'm looking at. So
there you go. Thursday night football is over with. Let's go on to the Sunday games. We'll go with the early games. The 1 o'clock games for you people on the East Coast. The 10 o'clock games for us West Coasters. First one I see up on the scoreboard, the Chicago Bears at the Atlanta Falcons. One thing about this, I think the Bears are the luckiest 2-0 team in the league right now. Both wins, they barely beat the lowly Giants, even when they lost Saquon early. And then the Falcons, one of the better 0-2 teams. I mean, they had to play Seattle. Russell Wilson's just on a tear. And then Again, that onside kick. Your boys
Yeah.
pulling one out. With this one, I still have little faith in Trubisky. It's Atlanta's currently favored by 3. I think Atlanta's even against that Bears defense, Atlanta can still put up 24 to 30 points, and I don't think Trubisky, even against a bad Falcons defense, can do that. I like the Falcons at home in this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to lean towards the Falcons. Yeah, the Bears defense has definitely been keeping them in the game. But, there's just not enough offensive firepower whenever Montgomery's like your number one
Leading receiver.
receiver and running back. Like, he's their only option, and that's not going to be enough.
Allen Robinson's good, but when your quarterback's not good enough to get him the ball,
well, he
you're
was
going to have some problems.
He was talking about, like, wanting a trade, like, after week 1 or, like, before
they're dealing with
started.
the contract disputes. Because, I get it, because if he gets another ACL, that's going to be no big contract for him, but it's like he's got that terrible quarterback throwing to him. Either way, I don't know. I think, Atlanta's got this.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to right the ship. They're going to win. I don't have a score for that.
Yeah. It'll be, I could see that being fairly high scoring. It's like Bears, good offense or bad offense, good defense. Falcons, good offense, bad defense. I like, both teams hitting the 20s possibly. It'll be a one-score game.
Okay. Yeah.
Coming up next, how about, this is a good one. The Battle of the Unbeatens. We got the 2-0 Rams visiting the 2-0 Buffalo Bills. The Bills pulling off a division win. Again, I guess another one. They're 2-0 in the division. That's a great way to start the year. 2 division games and 2 division wins.
Yeah.
Those are your biggest games of the year. Bills only 2-point favorites. I feel like I can see that. Rams on paper might look a little better, but man, Josh Allen, he looks like 400 plus yards against the Dolphins. He is just slinging it up there. Getting Diggs. I miss you, Diggs. Getting Diggs was a big pickup. I like Buffalo. Another close one. Like, so far, I think all 3 games are fairly close. I like the Bills to sneak one out, probably because they're at home. I bet you I'd take the Rams if it was in L.A., but I like the Bills at home with this one.
Yeah, the Rams haven't, went up against a defense like the Bills have. So that's going to, play a big factor. Josh Allen throwing for over 700 yards and however many touchdowns. I think 6 touchdowns in 2 games.
Does he have the most passing yards?
I think he has the most passing yards and
okay.
touchdowns in the first 2 games. Like, putting him in like I think the fastest starts in history with Mahomes and I think was it Brady?
Because I think Russell Wilson might have more touchdown passes. I think he had
because he had 5.
I think he had 4 and 5, so he's got like 9. I think it might be 7 or so for Josh Allen, but he's got more yards.
More yards, yeah. It was something like 720.
That last
25.
touchdown he threw to John Brown in the Dolphins game, it was like the way he threw it. It seriously looked like he just it was kind of a little sidearm thing where he just did this and it traveled like 50 yards in the air.
Yeah,
it was it looked effortless to him to throw it to where he got it to. It was because I think I've heard people try to say he has the best arm in the league as far as how far you can throw it.
I think he had completions of 52, 46, 46, 47, and 36 or something.
Right, there's over half of his passing yards right
yeah,
there.
Exactly. Going, with the deep ball, the accuracy. And we were talking about that, that was Deshaun Watson,
Oh, yeah, always going deep.
Always going deep, but, whenever you have accuracy like Allen does, and you have, wide receiver core like Stephon Diggs and John Brown, you can sling it like that, and they're going to go get it.
John Brown. Yeah, so who do you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Bills. I like it more than the spread. I think they can cover the spread.
Yeah, 2 points is you're almost just picking the winner because it's unlikely it's going to be it's either you're either going to win by 3. And I know not all games are like that, but if it's not 3, I like the Bills with
Well,
that one.
yeah, and like last week, I made mention. I was like, stay away from all the wide receivers, as far as the Rams wide receivers as in fantasy, which was true. But Higbee had like 3 touchdowns
Yeah.
last week, and he's turning it on. That was the one thing I did mention. Also, was that they have a viable like tight end option, which really opens up that offense a lot. But the defense is just going to be too much for him. Like on the Bills side,
Right.
so.
And the Rams, you of course control Aaron Donald, but if you just roll out, get the ball out quickly. Speaking of tight ends, I believe the Bills lost Knox, their tight end Knox,
Dawson
to
Knox,
the year.
yeah,
He might be done
that's
for the year.
unfortunate. They've never really been able to like keep a
Yeah.
solid tight end.
Even thinking back to the 90s when they went to their 4 Super Bowls, like who the hell was their tight end? Like I remember Andre Reed, Don Beebe, Thurman Thomas, but
yeah,
was Jim Kelly throwing to a tight end? Like I don't remember. Bills
Yeah, I
not
don't
known
think
for their
so.
tight ends. Tight ends. All right, moving on. Next game, we have the Washington Football Club heading to Cleveland, taking on the Browns. Browns going to get some extra time off with their Thursday night game. Offense finally showed up. They won that game just by 5, covering the spread over the other Ohio team, the Bungles. Browns currently 7-point favorites. I feel like the Browns get one win and people are already kind of like, oh, they're because they have so much talent, but they keep Brownsing themselves, if I can make that a word. Washington kind of got lit up by Arizona, who I think is I remember I read something earlier, at least the headline. All 4 teams from the NFC West might make the playoffs with the new playoff format because you have the 7 seed now going in, and that is a very possible thing as long as more 49ers don't get injured. But yeah, the Browns, I think the Browns will squeak this one out, but I like Washington to keep it closer than 7 with their defense and the inconsistency of the Browns offense. Browns have enough talent to win it, but I think it'll be close.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of backing the Browns all year, and I think their defense is going to step up. They're going up against a decimated Washington offense. Their running backs aren't really that great. I don't even know who their running back is right now.
I know they have the rookie Gibson because he's on my fantasy.
Okay.
He's been riding the bench on my fantasy team for the first 2 weeks.
And I don't know that he's really gotten the touches that he needs, but
not yet. Not the goal line, at least. That's the one reason he's not in my lineup.
Or I mean, I don't know if they've been in the red zone. How many red zone opportunities they've had?
Yeah.
So
most of them were against the Eagles in Week 1, not a lot against the Cardinals.
But yeah, I mean Sims, McLaurin, they're there. They're actually putting up some decent numbers. Haskins is getting the ball to him, but he just doesn't. He's just not there to manage the game. He doesn't have a running back there, and they're
and offensive line's a little shady. I mean,
yeah.
They lost Trent Williams last year, and then their guard Sheriff. I don't know how to say his name. I believe he had a season-ending injury. The injury talk will be brought up in a lot of these conversations. But yeah, with the Browns have a decent defensive line, and they showed up. I know they gave up 30 points to the Bengals, but a lot of that was in the 4th. They kind of had the game. It felt like put away, but the Bengals kept the pedal on the metal pedal. Yeah,
pedal. The pedal to the metal. Yeah, Burrow, he had threw for 350 yards.
Yeah, he had a good. I mean, they both
61 attempts. He was, they
gave
good. Him the green light. Yeah,
looking good.
No interceptions.
All right, so are we both on the Browns?
We're definitely going with the Browns,
but not to cover.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Browns also.
Browns. We're not going to talk about
no football team for me.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about Odell's poop fetish for a second straight week. Moving on to the next game, we have the Tennessee Titans 2-0 at the Minnesota Vikings. Tennessee goes in as 2.5-point favorites. We talked about this. I am from Minnesota. I am a Viking fan. They have looked so terrible on both sides of the ball. I've had some bad Viking teams in my time. The Christian Ponder era, the post Dante Culpepper era was pretty bad. But usually we either had a good enough offense to keep games close or a good enough defense to keep games close. both sides of the ball. I've never seen them look so terrible after 2 games in the 30 some year or about 30 years I've been watching them. I am officially on the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon, where I would just love them to tank and get Trevor Lawrence in the round. They have too much talent to do that, so it probably won't happen. And on that note, I'm picking the Titans because I want that. I'm going to ride. I know it's too early to jump off your team. I sound like a bad fan by saying I've never done this before. I am officially hoping the Vikings lose out so they can draft Trevor Lawrence #1 overall in the 2021 draft. And plus, Titans' offense has looked great. Their defense has looked good enough. They didn't look great against Jacksonville. They looked fine against Denver. Vikings haven't looked good at all.
Yeah, I respect the perspective though, because most fans, because they're fans, they'll just sit there and be like, "Oh, well, everything will be okay." Yeah.
I read that on Facebook because I follow enough Viking pages. Like, calm down. It's only week 2. Like, we have looked horrendous. Like, how can you expect? How can you just turn that around?
Yeah, you can see how the team is playing. Compared to
we're talking about the Vikings, so I need to take a drink.
You could see from previous seasons whenever they actually were playing good. You can see whenever they're clicking and they're not, and Kirk Cousins is struggling back there.
And their schedule coming up doesn't get easier. I mean, the Vikings play Seattle. They play Atlanta. Atlanta, again, their defense is whatever, but their offense the way the Vikings defense is playing, they could light them up. We got another one against the Packers. We got the whole NFC South, which I still think is the second best division. We got to play the Saints, the Bucks, I already mentioned Falcons, the Panthers, which aren't doing that terrible. They're staying in games.
Might get that one.
They're kind of like,
that one.
I don't want to get that one. I want Teddy Two Gloves, who I still love. I want him to beat. Again, I'm being a hater on my own team. I don't recommend this to anybody in week 2, but I'm going to do it now because of it's like the Trevor Lawrence. I think back to when Andrew Luck was coming out. Like, everyone was talking about that. Like, who wants the #1? And the Colts just so happened to have Peyton Manning not play at all that year, the 2012 or 2011 year, where Andrew Luck was the first, by far the easy #1 overall pick. And I want say the same thing. I'm not wishing injury on anybody, not especially my own team. I just want him to keep playing poorly and get the Trevor Lawrence lottery.
Tank for Trevor.
I'm on it. It's only week 2. I don't feel good about it, but I'm saying it. I'm sorry if any of my Viking friends out there hear me say this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for good reason. This week they're gonna go 0-3. They're going up against a good
very good
Titans
team.
Top to bottom. I mean, I think AJ Brown is out, but Jonnu Smith had a great game.
He might not be back. I don't know if AJ Brown will be back. You know who's coming into his own is Davis.
Oh yeah, Davis.
Corey Davis is having a hell of a year,
Yep.
and I think that a lot of it probably is. I mean, well, he didn't play last game, but week 1 he got a lot of looks because everyone's focusing in on AJ Brown, and then week 2, no, you can't even make that because Brown didn't even suit up, and Davis still had a great game. He's been a good numbers guy.
Yeah, and then you have to credit Tannehill for being able to put the pass in there. Where
Tannehill.
they could take.
I unfortunately had to face him in fantasy. The guy I went up against went with Tannehill. I'm like, Tannehill? All right. 30 points later, I'm like, Tannehill? Are you serious? So Tannehill's looking like he found his shtick. It didn't work for him in Miami. It's working for him in Tennessee. I think he's going to light up the Vikings. I don't think this game is going to be close.
He's in the perfect spot. I think he's found his home, and Tannehill, I like him a lot. This year for the Tennessee, and the fact that they don't really have to rely on him to make the pass. They could rely on their workhorse like Henry, but he, that just the play action, pass is lights out for him. That's his best play, and he's accurate with it too. So,
and Henry almost reminds me of Aaron Darnold in this way. Aaron Darnold, usually they always say you want to wear out the defense. I feel like Aaron Darnold wears out the offensive line in front of him, having to block him. Derrick Henry seems to be the same way against the defenses. He doesn't get worn out. When he gets up after 3 guys can come together and just destroy him. he seems to be the first one to pop up and just like trot back to the huddle like, nothing happened. It's like nothing, like it's nothing to him.
Yeah.
So it's like, and our our rush defense isn't good at all, but like nobody's really run on us because they've been throwing it all over the field against us. Now we'll see how terrible the Vikings rush defense is. Henry should have 100 yards.
Yeah, he's gonna have 100 yards. He's gonna run. I like Tennessee and to cover the points.
Oh, easily.
And yeah,
Tennessee all day. All right.
Sorry, Minnesota.
I should be the one to apologize. Coming out. That's why I wore my UFTA shirt. Minnesota, you understand what that means. All right, coming up next, we're still 10 o'clock games. Sorry, 10 o'clock Western time. We got the Raiders, the 2-0 Raiders, traveling to New England to take on Cam Newton and them Patriots. I do got to give a quick shout-out to a friend of mine, my buddy Eric Johnson. What's up? I'm picked against the Raiders both times. He likes to watch this. Both, and he'd like to point out, like, hey, man, why you hate on my Raiders? I'm like, I'm not hating on. I just don't think they're going to win these games. And I've been wrong both times. So I'm admitting when I'm wrong. I'm 0-2 in picking a Raiders game because I always pick them to lose. And I did lose $10 to him in that Saints game. So that happens. But the Raiders do come in as 6-point underdogs in New England. I thought I had my pick ready, but now it's like my mind just, I just said all of that, and now I'm not sure who I want to pick.
Yeah, for me, I think New England is going to, control the clock. They're going to, every running back, I think, so the Raiders, they faced McCaffrey in week 1. Last week was Kamara, which had a big, game running and 95 yards receiving.
I think he broke 30 in fantasy.
Yeah, so he had a big game. So I'm looking for, the Patriots to do the same thing with, Michelle, White, and, then you throw Cam Newton in there. That can run also. He's a run-pass threat. Like, I think that's going to, that's going to actually open up the pass game more for, and like, he was connecting with N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, he finally showed up. First-round pick from last year.
And then I want to say Bird. I forget his first name, but like he had like 6 receptions, and then Julian Edelman got me the money.
Got his. Oh yeah, his
he
8
got
receptions.
Me yeah, the props pick 'em. He won me the props pick 'em for Sunday Night Football.
In case you don't know, we got Schmuck Sports props pick 'em for Sunday night games. We'll go into that at the end of the pick 'ems, but.
So
I think it ended with the 8 exactly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but so I mean, shout out to the Raiders. Starting off 2-0. I wasn't expecting them to win on Monday night. That was, it was
only one person was, and that was the guy who ended up winning it all.
Yeah, winning
in
the actually Pick'em League. Like that was amazing.
Yvonne, right? Was that Yvonne?
Yeah, Yvonne was perfect going into Monday night. And so the runner-up had John Baker. Shout out John Baker.
John Baker, good
Congratulations,
job.
Man.
He only got one wrong, and I believe his one wrong pick was picking the Vikings over the Colts. That was my only incorrect pick going into the Monday night game. And, so he happened.
He had to run the table. He had to, get the Raiders win, which was damn near
the point.
And the tiebreaker. That's insane. That is insane. Cheers to John. Congratulations. Let's get it, for week 3. But, like I was saying, the Raiders, I think that they'll be able to kind of hang in there. But I think, the Patriots offense are going to wear them down with the run and control the game, control the clock. And I like the Raiders to cover the points and stay under the total.
Yeah, I was going to say under, Eric, I know you're going to watch it. I'm still picking against your boys. I think Patriots will win it. Yeah, 6 points. It's kind of, I don't know, like for a 2-0 team going in, it's hard to think the Patriots will score or win by more than that. But I'll take the Patriots to win, but it'll be under the point spread of 6.
Oh, another thing, Cam almost threw for 400 yards last week too.
Oh yeah, I remember we were watching that game together, and they showed his stat that he had like over 300. Like. We were watching the game, like, I don't remember all these passing yards. Like, where do they come from? But it's like, yeah, Cam, his arm's back. He can throw it again
67 yards on the ground too. Like
on the turf.
man.
Up
Yeah.
next, all right, the injury-riddled San Francisco 49ers are remaining in New Jersey playing the Giants. They just stayed there for the week after they beat the Jets, handled the Jets, even with all the injuries. This kind of shows how good the Jets are. 4-point favorites for the 49ers. You know what? I think this is my first upset pick of the week. I'm going with the Giants to beat the injury-riddled 49ers. They're going to be without Garoppolo, I believe. I've heard a couple. I think Garoppolo's out. Mostert is out. Kittle might be back. That'll help out San Francisco.
Oh, really? That'd be
Maybe.
soon.
I'm not 100%. Like we're filming this on Wednesday, so anything can happen on the injury report from Wednesday until Sunday. So Kittle might be back. They lost those two defensive ends, Bosa and I think Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, Solomon Thomas.
Richard Sherman will still be out. I'm sure they had another defense. They had so many injuries I can't remember all of them.
Right.
But I know the Giants lost Saquon, and I don't think Devontae Freeman's going to go in there and just put up Saquon numbers, but I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to go with an upset win here. San Fran 4-point favorites. Obviously, if I'm going with the Giants, I got them covering that spread.
Yeah, last week I actually liked the Jets, to win. I mean,
you
I
picked them
was
to win?
I don't know if I picked them to win, but I liked them to keep it close, and it wasn't as close as I thought it was, but they just banged up the Niners. They just they hit them hard and knocked a lot of them out for this week. And I mean, if I'm was like in New York last week, I'm definitely like New York this week because the Giants are just a little bit better than the Jets.
Yeah.
A little bit.
At first, I was going to say the 49ers. I'm like, whoa. What are you going to say? Okay, yes.
No.
You are. I will say you're correct on that.
Yeah.
We're picking the worst of two New York teams outside of the Bills, obviously.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard's on the IR, but Darius Slayton's been
Slayton's been killing it.
He's been killing it.
He has been lighting it up. I mean, Danny Dimes, he doesn't have a lot. His offensive line is pretty garbage, and he's doing what he can with what he's got. Like a lot of time, too many people blame the quarterback. I don't feel like you can blame him in the Giants' struggles this year. But I'm gonna go with that upset. I'm gonna go with I like the Giants.
Yeah,
not by a lot. It'll be close.
I'm gonna ride with you on that one too.
Have we picked the same pick in every single one so far?
I think so.
All right, we'll see. Something might come up. All right, here's our next one. We have the battle of the defeated. The 0-2 Bengals head to Philly to take on the 0-2 Eagles. Philly 5.5-point favorites. Carson Wentz has looked like garbage this year. Absolute garbage. They've had some, again, we'll go back to offensive line, injuries on the offensive line, injuries all over the place. Their receivers aren't very good. Sanders, right? That's already Miles Sanders? Yeah. Miles Sanders finally came back last week. He put up some points. He could put up some points against this defense of the Bengals, but I really like what we're seeing out of Bengals quarterback.
Joe Burrow.
Thank you. Joe Burrow.
The rookie.
He is looking through 2 games. I'm going to say he's living up to the first-round status. He's 0-2, but week 1, his kicker missed a chip shot to send it to overtime. Week 2, he put up 30 points. His defense didn't help him out. You know what? I'm going to say the Eagles are just they don't look good. They're like the Vikings. They have a bunch of talent on their team. On paper they look good, but I'm gonna go underdog. I'm going back-to-back underdog picks for me. Bengals sneaking out a win here on the road.
Fat Randy.
Is he gonna kick some field goals?
He's gonna kick the game winner. Is he gonna kick the game winner this week?
Without his calf flaring up, or
yeah.
I believe he said it was his. At first he grabbed his non-kicking calf, and then he said it was his other calf, and seems like excuses, Fat Randy.
Yeah, I mean, Burrow going up against the Chargers in the week 1, you obviously saw what happened to the Chiefs last week going up against Chargers.
Kind of the Chargers defense showed that they are really good.
They are for real.
Up until the fourth quarter, they held Kansas City in check.
And then that got Burrow ready to go up against the Browns. Their defense is nice too, and he ends up. I mean, it looked closer than it really was with that last touchdown pass to like I think what I think it ended with their but they lost by 6.
5. It was
5.
35 to
Okay,
30. Yeah.
so yeah, that last touchdown it should have been like 12 points or whatever. Lost by double digits if he didn't get that touchdown. But I still am leaning. Last week I liked Philly. I still like their defense. I think they're going to step up this week. They just ran into the Rams last week, and Wentz. I'm having a hard time. Like I'm having a real hard time trying to believe what they're doing or what they see in him. But it's just like it's so excruciating, like watching him like play. Like,
yeah, he's just like he makes
it's
cringe
it's
sometimes.
cringe. It's very cringe. It's like, I mean,
He doesn't have good receivers and a bad offensive line, so like that is just if we're looking to make excuses for the guy, but he's just it's like run the ball. I think he's scared to run because of all of the leg injuries he's had in his young
that was
career.
one of his things. Well, he was a good running wide quarterback. Dual threat in college, but I could see what he suffered like a season-ending knee injury. What, once or twice?
At least
like,
twice, I believe.
Yeah, once or twice, and
it's it's he looked
but-
so good that second year. Like his rookie year, he showed promise. His second year, it was like they got their guy, and then he got that injury. I got that injury against the Rams. I believe it was in L.A.
Oh yeah,
and
right.
Nick Foles showed up and it's like no problem, I got you.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that they just need to run. If he can get the ball to Ertz and Goddard, and Sanders is back. He had a touchdown. 105 rushing, some receiving yards. He's they're gonna have to definitely make him like one of the key offensive weapons just to get the receivers open. But Goddard and Ertz are big targets. Like
Possibly the best tight end combo.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
exactly. Yeah, I mean since what was
Gronk
it?
and that one guy who got arrested.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to say his name.
That one guy. Yeah. He was the murderer.
Yeah. He was actually actually convicted. So we can be politically correct and call him a murderer.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah. So
But
I
not
mean,
OJ.
I'm still going with the Eagles this week,
All right.
and
So there we go. We got one differential so far.
under the total.
It'll be closer. 5.5 is a bit much for me. I also like under the total. All right, final game of the morning games or the early games. We have Houston Texans traveling to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh comes in as 4-point favorites. The Texans offensively, they look. You could tell. You take the best. I'm going to call him the best wide receiver in the league. You take the best wide receiver and remove him from your offense. I grew up, Viking fan. I saw what happened to the Vikings offense when Randy Moss wasn't there anymore. Our offense looked like shit because you could just flick it up there and he would just go get it over everyone.
Right.
I mean, with Hopkins, it's the same thing. He's gone and now you got no one to throw to. Will Fuller's a great option when he's healthy, but I just can't see Steelers defense. And we were talking about Deshaun Watson only likes to throw deep, doesn't do his checkdowns. I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to have their way with the Texans, and I don't want to say an easy win, but I think they're going to just have their way with them. I like them to win and over that 4-point spread.
Yeah, Watson, he's struggling this year. But going back to whenever he had D-Hop, I would, I had bad luck, trying to pick D-Hop when he was going to have a big game because I would see that he was connecting, and he was on the same page with Watson and they were lights out. But then I'd pick it and I'm just like, why is he having such a hard time connecting with him? And Watson, and Hopkins is one of those wide receivers you could throw it wherever and he's gonna get it in the general vicinity, low to the ground. He was really good at like just those back shoulder catches.
Even
Like
talking about that, I remember that it didn't count because there was a penalty on the play. But when he caught it between his legs and fell back, like no other wide receiver in the league right now could have made that catch. Like it sucks that it didn't count. But and just look at Aaron. Like again, Murray's coming around and he's finding him the ball, but offensively, like you see the difference. I remember when that trade happened, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Houston? And now it's showing up on Sundays.
Yeah,
What
so
the hell were you thinking, Houston?
running into like one of the best defenses in the league last week, against the Ravens.
It's not gonna help.
Yeah, that doesn't help, and they're, then they have to see Pittsburgh the week after. That's a pretty tall task.
Pittsburgh, like, we're finally going to get to see Pittsburgh and Ravens whenever they play again next time. It's going to be back to like the mid 2000s when they were both really good, or those Ray Lewis, Troy Polamalu days.
So it's really hard to see that Houston actually gets on the right track this week if Pittsburgh continues to play like they are right now.
Yeah, if they can play them close, good for them. But I don't see it happening. I like Pittsburgh easy.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh to cover the points. What was it?
I got 4 on
4.
ESPN.
Yeah, I think I could get definitely win by a touchdown, and the total is 45. That might go over for sure.
That could, I mean, Pittsburgh's defense is good, but if they get up by too much, like those garbage points are going to happen.
Well, it could just be one of those games that like Watson actually like kind of shows up a little bit and gets put some points on the board. But they're gonna have to get out fast.
Yeah. If they fall behind,
he hasn't been. He's been
trouble.
terrible. Like trying to come back from behind. Like he's the second half like hasn't been good to him.
Coming from behind. All right, we are done with the early games. For the first time, I'm just seeing this right now. Instead of 3 afternoon games, we have 5. They've been just they cram all the morning games in, and then the afternoon we got 5 of them. First one, we got 2 1:05 starts. This is Pacific time, and then the 3 1:25 games. First one up, I got the. I'm going to call them the lowly New York Football Jets, 0-2 going into the 1-1 Colts. Colts are 10.5-point favorites.
That's huge.
A little too huge, if you ask me. I probably won't be picking the Jets at all to win this year, but in this case, like that's Indy. I don't know. I don't trust Phillip Rivers and the Colts at all. Like, I think the Jets could cover that spread. If you're one of those betting people, I'm going to take the Jets in the under, but I'm going to take the Colts with the W.
Yeah, I think the Colts kicked a lot of field goals last week too.
I believe they did. Yes, because they got a safety, another safety from Kirk Cousins. 2 games, 2 safeties, and 26. And then I think they got 4 field goals. There's your 12. That's 14, and then only 2 touchdowns. So they didn't finish drives. And again, a bad defense in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think they're putting a little too much into like the fact that they beat Minnesota last week. Vegas is thinking a little too highly of Minnesota right now.
Nobody should.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they can cover the spread. I would definitely take the Jets and the spread if you're betting, or maybe even not even just stay away from the game. But yeah, it's hard to trust Phillip Rivers because I've seen this happen plenty of times where he has a big game, and speaking of Vegas, they like to juice the line whenever he's playing, or if he happens to have a decent game, and like he did last week, they'll just boost the line, and because people are gonna jump on it, because he can when he's on, he's gonna put up some points, but you just don't know though.
And their tight end, I don't know his name. It's something. It's one of those
Mo Alley Cox.
Mo Alley Cox. He had a really good game. Number 81. I just remember seeing 81. Who the fuck? Why is he open all the time? I'm watching the game. Cheering for my team at the time, and it's why is he always open? And so yeah,
Yeah,
fantasy.
why
here's
was he always open?
Vikings defense? 2020 Vikings defense. We had the number one defense 3 years ago. It was okay 2 years ago. It was okay last year. It's bottoming out this year. So yeah, Colts, but I like closer than 10.5. 10.5 is a bit.
That's crazy.
bit much.
I'm not. Yeah, that's a little too much. I don't agree with that. But yeah, so stay away from the game. If not, take the Jets and the points. And
I think I
you know,
picked the
good luck.
Colts. Picked the Colts in my survival league, so
Okay.
they're my lock of the week to win. Either them or the Cardinals. I forgot which one I picked. We'll get to the Cardinals in a moment, but first we have the Teddy Two Gloves led Panthers at 0-2. They've lost a couple close ones. They are traveling to Los Angeles to face the Chargers, the Justin Herbert Chargers. What about the Chargers doctors screwing up his I don't know what I didn't read into it too much. I just saw Tyrod Taylor didn't play because they screwed up his lungs.
Yeah, he pierced his lungs trying to shoot him with a
What
was it?
steroids?
Yeah, he was juicing before the game, and they pierced
For
his
the way he played in
leg.
week 1, he needs all the juice.
Yeah,
he needs all he can get.
I don't know what that cortisone shot probably.
Oh, like a B12 shot or something
Yeah,
like that.
something. Yeah, and I mean, to me, that smells a little fishy. I smell a lawsuit. Honestly,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Chargers, you're fucked.
They're
How do
looking
you
into that too.
I mean,
heard that.
you
the
could
Players
sabotage.
Association.
Yeah, exactly. On Tyrod Taylor's behalf, yeah, he was gonna lose the starting position eventually this year. Now he could have had a decent showing and possibly signed with another, a squad next year
As a backup.
or as a backup, but now that he has one game on his resume for this year, and then he's not getting the starting job back.
Oh, no.
Herbert, he's there.
Herbert looked good.
Herbert is that's his job now. It's like you could basically say that the Chargers sabotage Tyrod Taylor's
maybe the rest of his career.
the rest of his career.
I mean, he might be a decent backup somewhere in the future. But yeah, there could be something. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, Herbert had a good game against the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong. He looked good, but the Chiefs were preparing for Tyrod Taylor.
right.
I feel like if the Panthers are able, again, I'm gonna go with another upset here. 6.5 for the Chargers. I think that's a little high. I'm gonna go. I got another upset. I like the Panthers. I'm gonna say the Panthers win this game. It'll be close. I think Herbert he didn't make many rookie mistakes in the game on Sunday, but I think some rookie mistakes will come out. I'm gonna go Panthers. I'm gonna go my third upset pick of the week. That's a little too many for me, but I'm gonna go with it. But Panthers in a close one.
Yeah. The Panthers defense, they're a young squad, and I don't know that they're going to be. I mean, I think they're going to be able to hang in there, going up against a rookie quarterback, and then they, knowing that they're going up against him, they saw some film on him. They can, basically game plan around it.
And I'm going to say this too. Without McCaffrey, I know McCaffrey's out 4 to 6. Another injury. We've been talking about injuries all day. But, I'm still going Davis, I don't know what his name, Mike Davis, whoever their backup running back is. He's going to show up.
Oh,
I like
Mike
the
Davis.
Panthers. I'm going to go Panthers.
Shit. Yeah, Teddy Two Gloves, man, he's a gamer. And he's connecting. He's I think he's just going to air out the ball a lot, he's going to put it in his receiver's hands to take over the game, and he's going to let it fly. And I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
Agreed.
And
So who do you got?
I'm still going with the Chargers, though. I'm still going with the Chargers. And Herbert with his second game.
Herbert.
His first win as a rookie.
Herbert.
Yeah. I wanted to say second win as a rookie, but he didn't win last week.
That's true. He won for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah,
but
it was
not
almost
enough
like
in
he
the NFL.
won. It was almost like he won. Like
It felt it. I'm like, I remember watching, because we were watching the game at the bar. We were doing our live broadcast from Full Circle Saloon, and I'm like, you know what? Chargers are going to at least tie this, or Chiefs are going to at least tie this game. And we just had a feeling there were a bunch of Charger fans in the bar. That's a shame.
yeah,
I like the underdog. So that's only our second differential, right? I got the Bengals over Eagles.
Yeah, the
and
Eagles. And
all right.
Yeah, so
spicing it up a bit. Moving on, the 125 games. We got 3 of these. Buccaneers going to Denver. We were talking earlier. I just read this. Tom Brady, 4-7 career in Denver, including the playoffs. Most of those games were against, well, most of them. I bet you 3 or 4 of them were against Peyton Manning.
yeah.
This one's tough. Tampa Bay is a 6-point favorite. Tampa Bay I would probably pick Denver if Drew Lock was starting. I think Driscoll looked good against Pittsburgh when he went in. But again, it's that thing where you're facing a different player. Like the defense prepared for Drew Lock. Driscoll, I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll. He showed up. He did his job as a backup. I just feel like Tampa Bay. I like Denver and the under and the point spread, but I like Tampa Bay coming out with a win.
Yeah, Tampa Bay also got some work from Leonard Fournette last week. Ran for over 100.
Good.
Yeah, 15 carries. So that's going to be definitely a help there. Like, Mike Evans looked really good. He was clicking with Tom Brady. There's a lot of weapons that he's got.
So
Like
he got health because he was injured kind of week 1. Plus
Yeah.
Godwin out of there, so he had
I don't know if Godwin's still in concussion protocol.
Oh no, he'll be back.
Yeah,
I know he's on my fantasy. team.
Yeah, so having Godwin back and both of those guys, and then maybe Scotty Miller gets a little bit more. But I think it's just way too much for. I like Denver's defense. I like them, but
They're
I just
solid.
yeah.
Even minus Von Miller, they're still decent defense.
Yeah,
but
Cortland Sutton, he's out on.
that's a shame.
He tore up his knee. He's out for the season.
Jerry Jeudy, he's looked okay, but he's still
he doesn't.
still a rookie. He's only two games deep in his NFL career.
He took a shot, he had some drops the first game, and
Yeah.
he finally he got brave and caught the ball and took a shot over the middle last week.
And he held on.
And
he
he held on, but he was slow to get up. I bet he's shook. He's gonna have
like he got his first real NFL
hit.
Yeah.
He got his first real hit, and that's why he wasn't reaching for those balls the first week. But then he caught it
for the balls.
Yeah, see how that works. But yeah, Melvin Gordon looked good too last week for the Broncos. Philip Lindsay's out. He has turf toe. He'll be out for another couple weeks.
Yeah, turf toe's like a hamstring. It can be a thing that might be a week or two, or it could be like Adam Thielen had a hamstring last year and it was 6 weeks because they tried to bring him back early and he re-aggravated it.
Yeah.
Turf toe is kind of the same thing.
So I don't think they're gonna endanger Lindsay like that. When you have Gordon there,
especially when you have Gordon.
He can carry the load and he's ready to go. But it's just gonna be not enough to win this week. So.
Agreed. Buccaneers, the Tampa Brady Buccaneers. All right, next game. Actually, this was my lock of the week. I said the Colts might have been, but I don't trust Phillip Rivers, so they are not. My lock of the week, the Lions traveling to Arizona, take on the Cardinals. Murray has just looked, again, not as good as Russell Wilson has through 2 games, but he has looked great. Arizona has got to be happy. Cardinal fans, you should be happy with what you got for the future. They're only 5.5-point favorites. I think last year this Murray's first ever game was week 1 against the Lions in Arizona, and I believe that game ended in a tie. Might have been the only tie of last year.
Oh yeah, I do remember that game.
Because Detroit was heavy favorites.
They were heavy favorites. They were actually winning, covering the spread.
Yeah,
and I was all excited, and I remember
the spread.
and I just remember I remember the Cardinals and Murray, like, rallying back, and like they took it into OT and like ended in a tie. I was like, what the hell? Like, I mean, it was an impressive game.
Ugh,
Yeah,
I
it
hate
was
ties.
yeah.
We need a new overtime format in the NFL. But yeah, I got Cardinals covering that 5.5, winning easily over the always inconsistent Detroit Lions. Stafford's got he's got a great arm, but it's like he always loses. They've won the division once. He doesn't have a playoff win. Detroit hasn't won a playoff game since 91, I think. That's almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, there's nothing really to be excited about in Detroit with the Lions. I mean, I could say like their best player right now is Adrian Peterson.
35-year-old Adrian Peterson.
That's crazy. And no Galladay. Maybe Galladay is back
Yeah,
this
I
week.
saw he's in fantasy. He was projected to get points, so his projections.
Maybe he'll come back this
but
week.
I think it's a hamstring, right, with Galladay. So again, with the hammy, it depends. Like he could go out there and be healthy, and then one play, like go full out football, and then re-aggravate it.
Where is Hawkinson at? I don't know where he's at or why he's not.
He gets like 2 or 3 receptions a game.
It's bad.
He's there.
It's bad. Like Carry on Johnson. Like I just can't. I can't.
I'm
figure
still
it
hung out
out
on their week 1 loss.
I
They
can't-
should have won that game. They
I
should have
can't
won that
figure it
game.
out other than the fact that I'm just gonna say that they suck. Like they're just garbage.
Yeah.
And it's just they're like an enigma. Whenever it comes to like NFL or like the season in general, like you don't know what's gonna happen. Because Stafford is good enough that they'll lose 3 in a row and then he'll like win 3 in a row and then
It's
drop
the stats.
5 and then
It is. It's the stats. Like they look at the stats, but when you put up garbage stats, like garbage time stats, like Kirk Cousins is the king of garbage time stats. Matthew Stafford is like the prince of garbage time stats. Like these guys let their teams get behind, and then they put up the numbers to keep them in the game. By that I mean keep them within at least 2 scores, and then it looks like they put up the numbers, but they really didn't put up any. They didn't do anything. The garbage stat, like there should be a separate category where like stats that matter and then garbage stats.
I think that's why Megatron retired. He's like, you're no longer gonna, fucking,
yeah.
Ride my coattails. I'm out of here.
Megatron,
Like,
Barry Sanders, they're all like, look, I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah,
All right, I think you got 2 Cardinal wins here
that was
pretty handily.
yeah.
All right. This is the number 2 game of the week because the Monday night game is the game of the week. This is in my opinion. We got the last afternoon game before the Sunday night game. We got your Dallas Cowboys sneaking out their first win of the year with that onside kick, going up against the red-hot Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Again, 1:25 kickoff Pacific time. Seattle's slated it to win by 4.5 according to Vegas. I like Seattle in this one, and I think they will win by more than the 4.5. Russell Wilson is on. He has 11 incompletions and 9 touchdown passes. That is insane. That is insane. I just saw something. He put up more fantasy points as a quarterback through 2 weeks than what other quarterback who did it a few years ago? And the answer is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
Those first 2 games he
Fitzmagic.
had as the Buccaneers
Yep.
quarterback when Jameis Winston was suspended.
Oh, right.
Which they asked that question on NFL Network. I'm like, who could it be? Is it Peyton Manning like 5-10 years ago? Is it Tom Brady? Like Ryan Fitzpatrick? Like, all right, I remember the start of that year they had.
What was that other you mentioned last week that like he's surpassing
Oh yeah,
Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
He's
like
surpassing-
he's just knocking them off the list.
he's
Like,
just moving up,
climbing
that
the
passing
ladder.
yard. He passed Y.A. Tittle and Troy Aikman like 2 weeks ago. Steve
Man.
Young will be the next one on the list. He might have surpassed him in this game. I can look up the stats right now. I'll look it up because you'll start talking here. But he surpassed Steve Young was the next one. He's not going to be known as a better quarterback than these people, but passing yard wise, he has more yards than Steve Young and Troy Aikman.
Yeah, no, I mean it's really hard to like. I don't want to pick against Dallas this week, and I'm not like totally sold on Dallas like as a squad right now. I love their weapons. I love Cooper, Gallup,
Cuba.
CeeDee Lamb. Like they're Dak is doing his job. He's doing his job. I can't take anything from it. But like missing Van Der Esch, their defense is just struggling, Swiss cheese like struggling. And the fact that they barely like squeaked out that win last week on an onside recover and a field goal to win. I mean, that's just like I don't know. I'm not sold on Dallas and being able to like play on elite level that Russell Wilson is playing right now. He's like playing on an MVP level.
Big time. I mean, I think he always does. He's the most underappreciated player. I mean, we heard Bill Belichick come out and say before their game against Seattle, like Mahomes is great, Lamar Jackson is great, I don't like saying that; it's like a swear word. Aaron Rodgers is doing pretty good, but he's always overlooked for those guys. Like those guys are always up there, and he's always down there. So, yeah, I think that continues this week, and he is going to light up that defense. Dallas will put up numbers. I mean, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Seattle's defense isn't great, but they're better than Dallas's.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dallas has a better offense than the Patriots, and the Patriots like took them down to the wire.
That tackle on the goal line, that was a good one.
Yeah, they got him. I mean, you didn't see that coming. Like Cam, he could have handed the ball off. Like he has
not Cam. Cam wants all the glory.
He it just. That got him, that's what fucked it up for him.
I did look it up. Fitzmagic did surpass Steve Young last week, moving into 36th all-time on the all-time passing list. If he passes for 100 yards on Thursday against the Jaguars, Fitzmagic will surpass two players and could be 34th all-time. He'll surpass Phil Simms and some guy named John, looks like Haddle, Hadl. He played from 62 to 77. He played for 4 different teams. I've never heard of him. But if he does 100 yards, he'll be 34th. Next up on the list, he'll need about another 600 or 700. He'll need 600 yards to surpass Alex Smith for 33rd. So maybe this will be a running segment, the Ryan Fitzpatrick all-time passing yard list.
I expected Alex Smith to be that high up there.
I know a lot of these guys, like Matthew Stafford is 18th right now. He's probably going to move up to 17th. Aaron Rodgers we got a lot of current players up there. Aaron Rodgers is 12th all-time right now. Matt Ryan is 9th. He's top 10. We got Roethlisberger at 7, Rivers at 6, and then, of course, the top 2 passers of all time are currently playing, Drew Brees and Tom Brady. But, yeah.
And then Manning, where's Manning at 3?
Manning is 3. Yep, he is just ahead of Brett Favre at 4, and then Dan Marino still owns number 5.
Passing yards and the way the league is now, I think you can accredit that to
big time
the way it is
big
now.
time.
Stats
are one. It's W's is the final thing. Like it's W's and Super Bowls. I mean, Fitzpatrick doesn't have a lot of both. He's probably the best or the worst yardage quarterback of all time. But he's going to keep if he gets another, in 2 weeks, let's say he averages, even 200. He gets 400 yards. I guess he's still only moving up a few spots, but he could, he could still easily he could surpass Jim Kelly, Matt Hasselbeck,
and that's
Donovan
not even
McNabb.
Getting a start every week of the season, being a bona fide starter.
Because I wonder how long before they get Tua out there to show what he can do.
Yeah, and because I'd give him another 4 weeks probably, and then Tua gets out there. But although I think they said that Tua hasn't actually taken any contact yet since college.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be
since his injury, I think.
I wonder if they they probably don't even want to touch that. No Tua.
So maybe he gets 8, 9 starts this year, 8, 9, 10, or even the whole season. Who knows?
Average 200 yards a game. That's 1,600. He's still gonna surpass at least 8 other people on that list. It's magic, baby.
A journeyman quarterback,
Oh, yeah, and you look at all the all-time, some of these quarterbacks played with 5 teams, 4 teams. You look at Fitzmagic, 8 teams.
Yeah.
So he just keeps, jumping around and, where will I get my opportunity?
Yeah, and when I guess he could go to New York. Well, he's already played for the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll go back to another team twice. Is that something we can do? Who did he play for? It's like Rams, Texans, Jets, Bills, Bucks.
Bengals.
Was he a Bengal?
Yeah, I think that's
Bengal.
where he started out.
He was drafted as a Ram. I know that for
as
sure.
a Ram. Okay.
I'm sick of talking about
Okay.
Fitzmagic.
Everybody's already tuned off. Like,
Yeah. We got
see you next week.
two more games. We got two good games coming up. Sunday night football. Packers are at the Saints. Saints go in as 3-point favorites for the Sunday night game. Saints coming off. Their defense didn't look very good against the Derek Carr-led Las Vegas Raiders. And Drew Brees, dude, the dude looks like he's washed up. I hate to say this. I hate picking the Packers. I think the Packers are going to win this game. And 3 points, Packers offense is lighting everyone up. I mean, if Drew Brees, I'm going back to the playoff game against the Vikings because I watched that whole game closely. He looked old and fragile in that game, and I feel like he's kind of looked that way this year so far. Like, he got that Week 1 win against the Bucks, but he didn't look that good. He's obviously not the same. I like the Packers. I hate saying it. I like the Packers to win this one as 3-point underdogs.
Yeah, no, I like the Packers also. I mean, they've been solid up and down, top to bottom. They're legit. Aaron Jones is a fucking freak right now.
Especially
He's killing it.
I don't have him, but I know the guy who has him is 2-0.
Yeah, so he's definitely like one of their main weapons, and A-Rod is, he's playing like a man possessed right now.
He's playing like a man his team drafted his successor, and that pissed him off, and he's showing how pissed off.
Yeah,
he is.
exactly. I mean, the disrespect is out. You don't disrespect a Hall of Famer like that.
Whoa, future
Hall of Famer.
Future.
Oh, he's got this.
If
he's definitely
what if he's got some
it.
skeletons in his closet, and then those come out, then they just ban him.
Oh,
just
yeah,
wait till
right.
it happens. Let's just wait till it happens. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we won't give him that jacket just yet. But
please don't.
Yeah, no. I always had respect for the guy, but like he looks really good this year, and I expect him to until they prove me wrong. I said this last week. I'm rolling with the Packers until that they take that first L, and I don't see it this week.
Not this week. All right. I said before when I got to Seattle and Dallas that was the second game of the week. This is the game of the week. Possibly the best two teams in not only the AFC but the entire league. The reigning Super Bowl champion Chiefs at Baltimore. Both teams 2-0. Ravens have looked flawless in their first two games, like no problems for them. Chiefs had to use, they needed to squeak out a win. Buckner, we were commenting on that. He made 3 50-plus yard field goals at the end.
In a row.
The first one didn't count because it was, I believe, a false start, and that was from 53 yards. Then the 58-yarder he nailed. The Chargers called a timeout right before that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 58-yarder, which no timeouts were left, he nailed it. Chiefs won 23-20. This is a tough one. Baltimore is 3.5-point favorites. Man, because it's not the playoffs, I'm going to pick the Ravens in this one. If it was the playoffs, I'd say the Chiefs got it. Ravens will sneak this. This will be a great game. I mean, that's all I can say about this. This will be a great game, high scoring. I mean, possibly the two best quarterbacks in the NFL. Right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. This is like the showdown that you want to see.
This is the
Monday
Brady
night.
Manning of the 2000s, of the early 2010s. Like, this is this will be the new thing we look for: the Mahomes versus Jackson, assuming they both stay healthy. Yeah. I'm gonna say Ravens can sneak this one out at home.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't feel confident saying that, but I'm gonna say that.
I don't think Kansas City going up against the Chargers last week, and they a strong defense there. They didn't really have a contest against the Texans in Week 1. That was just kind of a, they were coming off a Super Bowl high. They're still on that honeymoon, and Week 3, this is this is what it's all about. This is probably going to be a preview of the AFC Championship game.
For sure, yeah.
And you know,
1 versus 2, whoever is 1 or 2, like I don't even want to crown that. Like you could say the winner of this game might be the number 1 seed, and the loser, like they could be tied at that time, and then tiebreaker is head to head.
Yeah.
But like it's 1 and 2 in the AFC for sure. Like I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah. I just Ravens been clicking on all cylinders. It's tough to stop Lamar Jackson, and I don't really.
I heard
I
someone
don't know
call
that
him a pocket quarterback earlier this week. I was like, you're like, yeah, pocket quarterback. They hate calling him the running or the people like to use the term athletic quarterback.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think that the Chiefs have like the defense to like really contain him, and
yeah, Ravens definitely have the better defense of the two.
yeah, and the Ravens, they just have they got a lot of weapons on both sides. I mean, the defense is solid, and they have just as many weapons. I mean, maybe not like to the elite level as like the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, or Andrews is good. He's not as good as Kelsey yet, but
yeah,
I mean,
you look at those main spots like. We'll start off with the easier ones, like better wide receiver, Hollywood Brown or the Cheetah. I'm going to take the Cheetah.
Yeah.
Who's a better tight end, Kelsey? Excuse me, Kelsey or Mark Andrews? I'm going to give it to Kelsey.
Yeah.
Both really good. Then who's the better quarterback, Mahomes or Jackson? I got to give it slightly to Mahomes.
Yeah, you have to.
Like just with arm, athletic ability, like running wise, it's Jackson.
Yeah, definitely.
Mahomes is like, I believe he had 80 yards rushing against the Chargers. Like he picked up a huge first down, like 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Mahomes can run around too, and like all 3 of their big playmakers are a little bit better on the Chiefs side, but then you go into the defense, like everyone's a lot better on that side. And I feel, and it's again like by Chiefs offensive guys a little better. It's not by a lot. Like they're so equally matched, except Ravens have a better defense. So I'm going to take the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens at home. Plus they're at home, but there's no home field advantage. But
still the travel. You
can
still look at the travel.
But
it's hard to
So
what about that
Ravens
3.5? I mean 3.5. That's one of those numbers like if it was a field
you
goal,
might as well, they would. It's almost like they got to win by a touchdown. At that point.
It's either gonna be a 7-point win or a 3-point win.
I'll take the Chiefs and 3 points.
All right,
3.5.
You know what? I'll take the Ravens at 3.5. It'll be like 38-34 or 55-51. It could be a high scoring game.
It could be like another one of those like
Chiefs Rams.
It was
Chiefs
Rams.
Yeah.
That was a
a fun game.
Yeah, for sure. So so I mean I'd be willing to put 10 on it. You want to put 10 on it?
$10 on the spread.
On the spread.
Let's talk off camera.
Okay. All right. Well, I put them on the spot.
I might. I'm gonna be a little careful on my bets moving forward. That one might be a little too close for comfort. But those are the picks for the week. Schmuck Sports, your week 3 picks. Don't forget, we have. I don't know a lot about it. Why don't you tell them about the? You got your Thursday night prop bets.
So we have been doing our weekly pick'em contest. We just unveiled the Sunday night prop pick'em contest, and we're going to be doing that for Thursday night football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football on schmucksports.com. It's our weekly pick'em contest is $10 to enter because that's the main contest, but since we're doing the props pick'em contest, we're doing that as a $5 entry, winner take all. So what we're like for example, this week's is both quarterbacks. You'll answer the question: will Minshew throw for 270 yards? Yes or no. Will Fitzpatrick throw for 270 yards? Yes or no. The running backs will, either one, will they run for 100 yards or 80 yards? Yes or no. And down the line, it's with wide receivers. You just, easy yes and no questions.
Whoever picks the most
and
correct.
And whoever picks the most correct wins. And there's a tiebreaker I think at the end, it's going to be the tiebreaker is the total points of the game tomorrow. So we have that available. It's up on the website schmucksports.com, schmucksports.com.
.com. And also, we always have our weekly Pick'em League that you can join in. That's also on schmucksports.com. We don't do the Thursday night game, so you don't have to join or make your picks till what, Saturday or technically Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday, 10
But,
a.m.
the earlier the better.
Yeah. And so, register to play. You must be a member before you are able to be eligible to play in these contests, and follow our website, our Facebook page, Schmuck Sports. I think it's facebook.com/Schmuck Sports.
Or just, search for Schmuck
Yeah.
Sports on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many schmucks out there.
Yeah.
We're the only schmucks.
We try
in
to
the
get all of the
industry.
schmucks together into one Facebook group.
Yeah.
The other schmucks, they're poser schmucks. We're actual schmucks.
Yeah, for sure. We could schmuck it up anytime.
We'll schmuck it up big time. All right, I think that'll do it for the week.
Yep.
Good luck on your picks. Hey, we had some pretty
Good luck.
solid ones. Good luck on your picks. If you join up. Yeah, we're look us up on Facebook, or just if you don't do Facebook because of Facebook is annoying, you can just go to the website and you can look it all up there. So that'll do it for us. I'm Fernando.
I'm Jerson.
Laters.
Peace.